Come closer, dear woman, because what I'm about to say may touch a part of you the world has ignored for too long. This is not about beauty trends, not about expensive creams, not about chasing youth as if age was something to fear. This is about a quiet gift that has been sitting in many homes for years, and most people never noticed what it could mean. Olive oil. Yes, olive oil. Simple, golden, humble. But do not let its simplicity fool you. Some things in life do not arrive with noise. They arrive with depth. They carry comfort, memory, care, and sacred meaning all at once. And if you stay with me, you may never look at that little bottle the same way again. Because for the older woman, for the woman who has carried a family, carried grief, carried hope, carried bills, carried prayers, carried herself through seasons no one fully understood, olive oil can become more than something in the kitchen. It can become a sign, a reminder, a quiet act of blessing. The world may rush past women once the years begin to show, but heaven does not rush past them. Heaven does not turn away from silver hair, tired knees, soft hands, or a face marked by real living. Sometimes the years do not lessen a woman. They reveal her. So stay with me. The next few minutes may give you a new way to honor your body, your years, your faith, and your value. And the most powerful part is still ahead, so do not leave early. Olive oil moves through Scripture like a golden thread. It appears again and again, not by accident, but with purpose. It lights lamps. It anoints heads. It touches the sick. It marks the chosen. It carries healing, covering, and consecration. This oil was never just decoration. It was never just flavor. It spoke without speaking. It said, this life matters. This person is set apart. This moment is holy. And that matters deeply when we talk about older women, because too often the world treats age like a fading, when in truth, age can be a ripening. Think about the olive tree itself. It does not grow fast and loud like something trying to impress the world. It grows with quiet strength. It survives dry places. It stands through harsh weather. It keeps giving even in later years. Does that not sound like so many women you know? Women who have lived through loss and still know how to comfort others. Women who have buried dreams and still keep faith alive. Women who have wept in the night and still smiled in the morning because others needed them. That is not weakness. That is holy endurance. And maybe that is why olive oil feels like such a fitting gift. It comes from something pressed, something tested, something that kept standing. Listen carefully here because this part is important. Pressure did not destroy the olive. Pressure revealed what was inside it. And often life works that way in a woman too. The years may press her, but they also reveal her strength, her tenderness, her wisdom, and the deep oil of grace within her. There comes a season in a woman's life when she no longer needs applause to know who she is. She has already cried enough tears to understand what matters. She has already seen enough change to stop worshiping what is temporary. She is not a girl trying to be noticed. She is not a young woman trying to prove she belongs. She has entered another room now, a quieter room, a stronger room, where her worth runs deeper than appearance and her beauty carries memory, survival, and peace. Her face may be softer now. Her walk may be slower now. Her body may not move with the same speed it once did. But she carries something many younger people are still searching for. She carries knowing. She carries lived truth. She carries the kind of beauty that does not disappear when the mirror changes. And to a woman in that season, olive oil can become a beautiful act of remembrance. Not a cure for aging, because aging is not a disease. Not a desperate reach backward, because she is not called to go backward. It can become a gentle way of saying this body still matters. This life still matters. These years are not empty years. These are full years. These are sacred years. Stay with me because this is where the message becomes personal. So many women have spent decades caring for everyone else that they forgot how to touch their own lives with tenderness. They became strong for everybody. They became available to everybody. They became the safe place for everybody. But somewhere in all that giving, many forgot that they too deserved care, blessing, warmth, and honor. When you lift a little olive oil into your hand, the act may look small, but it can carry deep meaning. You are not just holding oil, you are holding a pause. You are holding intention. You are holding a simple way to say, I will not neglect myself today. Think about the woman who wakes up early, even now, still carrying responsibilities, still showing up, still doing what needs to be done. Think about the woman whose knees ache, whose shoulders feel heavy, whose hands have worked for decades, whose heart has survived disappointments no one talks about anymore. When she takes a moment to place oil on her skin with prayer, with peace, with care, that is not vanity. That is honor. That is reverence. That is gratitude for the vessel that carried her this far. She can touch her forehead and whisper, "Let my mind stay clear." She can touch her temples and whisper, "Give me peace today." She can touch her chest and whisper, "Keep my heart soft, but strong." She can touch her knees and whisper, "Thank you for carrying me." She can touch her hands and whisper, "Thank you for every meal prepared, every child lifted, every burden carried, every tear wiped, every prayer offered." Do not miss this. The world teaches women to criticize their bodies as they age, to hide them, to resent them, to chase some impossible past. But a holy rhythm teaches something else. It teaches a woman to bless what God has sustained. It teaches her to stop speaking shame over skin that has survived, over bones that have served, over a life that has endured more than most people know. And let us speak plainly, because this truth needs to be said without apology. The older woman is not finished. She is not expired. She is not less valuable because her youth is behind her. If there is still breath in her body, there is still meaning in her days. If her heart still beats, then purpose still lives in her. The world may move the spotlight, but heaven does not move away from her. Heaven still sees her prayers. Heaven still sees her service. Heaven still sees the quiet ministry in her presence, the calm wisdom in her words, the strength in the way she holds a room together. An olive oil can become a soft but powerful reminder of that truth. It says, "You are still chosen. You are still covered. You are still worthy of care. You are still a woman of presence, of value, of deep beauty." Some women feel invisible in these years. The house gets quieter. The phone rings less. The children are grown. The mirror reflects change. But listen to me closely. Silence does not mean absence of worth. Quiet does not mean heaven has forgotten your name. Sometimes the deepest seasons are not loud seasons. They are rich seasons, rooted seasons, hidden seasons where strength becomes even more real. And that is why daily acts matter. A little oil in the morning, a prayer before sleep, a gentle hand on your own shoulder instead of constant criticism. These things may look small from the outside, but inside they can rebuild dignity. And once a woman begins to honor herself again, something in her spirit rises. Not pride, not vanity, peace. Clean, grounded, beautiful peace. There is something deeply healing about slowing down long enough to bless your own body. Not rush past it, not complain about it, not ignore it until pain forces your attention. Bless it, thank it, care for it. A woman can sit in the quiet of morning or the softness of evening, pour a little oil into her palms, warm it between her hands, and begin gently. She can smooth it over tired arms that have held whole families together. She can press it into dry hands that spent years washing, lifting, working, serving. She can touch her shoulders and remember the loads she carried without applause. She can touch her back and remember all the time she stayed strong even when she felt alone. She can touch her feet and say, "Thank you for every mile, every errand, every hospital visit, every church step, every kitchen floor, every long day that asked more from me than I thought I had." This is not empty routine. This is sacred attention. This is a woman refusing to let her body be treated like an afterthought. And if you're still listening, stay with me because this next part matters even more. So many women were taught to pour out until nothing remained. Give to the husband. Give to the children. Give to the job. Give to the church. Give to the neighbors. Give to everyone. And somewhere along the way, they were made to feel guilty for receiving care themselves. But olive oil teaches another lesson. It teaches filling. It teaches nourishing. It teaches pausing long enough to return to yourself so you do not live emptied out in your own life. This practice can be simple. It does not need performance. It does not need a perfect room or a perfect mood. It can happen with a small bottle on a nightstand, a chair near a window, a quiet prayer in the early light. A woman can let the moment become her own small sanctuary. She can anoint herself before prayer, before rest, before stepping into a hard day or after coming through one. She can say, "Lord, walk with me today. Steady my thoughts. Strengthen my body. Cover my home. Keep my spirit tender and strong." She can use the oil as a sign of surrender, a sign of trust, a sign that her life is still in sacred hands. And for older women especially, there is beauty in this slow and deliberate care. Because this stage of life is not just about what has been lost. It is also about what has been gained. Discernment, patience, soft power, deeper faith, cleaner priorities, a heart that no longer chases what once seemed so important. Listen carefully here. The woman who has lived enough to know that peace matters more than performance carries a kind of glory the world cannot manufacture. Her beauty is not thin and temporary. It is rooted. It has depth. It has survived storms. So when she places oil on her skin, it can become more than comfort. It can become agreement. Agreement with the truth that she is still called, still held, still useful, still beautiful, still becoming. And if this is landing in your heart, do not rush off, because the next part speaks to the lie many women have believed for far too long. There is a lie floating through the world that says a woman becomes less as she becomes older, less radiant, less useful, less seen, less desired, less needed. But that is a cruel lie, and many women have breathed it in for years without even noticing. It appears in magazines, in screens, in passing comments, in the silence that follows women once their youth no longer fits the world's shallow standards. But truth says something better. Truth says a woman is not less because she has lived. She is more seasoned, more discerning, more anchored, more aware of what matters. Time did not steal everything from her. Time also gave. It gave insight. It gave endurance. It gave stories. It gave her a voice with weight in it. It gave her a strength that does not need to shout. And this is why the simple act of anointing with olive oil can mean so much. Because every time she does it, she pushes back against the lie. She says, I will not let culture tell me I have faded when heaven says I am fruitful. I will not let the mirror become my judge. I will not let the years be twisted into shame. I will honor what has carried me. I will bless what God has sustained. I will walk in grace, not panic. I will age with peace, not fear. This matters because how a woman sees herself affects how she lives. And when she begins to see herself as honored instead of overlooked, as ripened instead of reduced, as sacred instead of sidelined, something changes in the room around her. Her daughters notice. Her granddaughters notice. Other women notice. Her life becomes a message even before she speaks. Imagine a younger woman watching an older woman move through her home with peace instead of self-hatred. Imagine her seeing silver hair worn with dignity, soft skin touched with kindness, years carried without apology. Imagine her seeing that growing older is not a fall from beauty, but another form of beauty altogether. That vision can heal more than one life at a time. Because when older women honor themselves, they teach younger women not to fear the future. They teach them that time is not an enemy. They teach them that womanhood does not end when youth changes shape. That lesson is powerful. That lesson is needed. So let the daughters see you care for yourself with peace. Let them see you bless your body instead of cursing it. Let them see you place oil on your hands and say, these hands have done holy work. Let them see you touch your face and say, every line here tells the truth that I survived. Let them hear you speak life over your years. This is not pride. This is wisdom. This is freedom from the cruel pressure to disappear quietly. And let me add this because it matters. Some older women feel lonely in ways they never expected. The house is different now. The days are different now. People are busy. The world is loud, and it often forgets the quiet strength of a mature woman. But a sacred daily practice can help call her spirit back to center. It can remind her that even in solitude she is not abandoned. Even in stillness she is not empty. Even in a quieter season she is not forgotten. She is seen. She is accompanied. She is covered in ways the eye cannot always measure. So if you have olive oil in your home, let it become more than an ingredient. Let it become a reminder. Let it call you back to gentleness with yourself. Let it call you back to prayer. Let it call you back to the truth that this body, even older, is still worthy of care. This skin, even changing, is still worthy of blessing. This life, even after sorrow, is still full of purpose. You do not need a grand ceremony. You do not need anyone's permission. You need only a willing heart, a quiet moment, and the courage to honor what the world told you to overlook. Touch your forehead and bless your mind. Touch your chest and bless your heart. Touch your knees and bless your walk. Touch your hands and bless your service. Touch your feet and bless your path ahead. And as you do, say what is true. I am still here. I am still held. I am still chosen. I am still fruitful. I am still a woman of worth. I am not behind. I am not too late. I am not forgotten. That is the new look of this practice. Simple, warm, strong, deep, human, holy. And remember this as we close. The world may celebrate speed, youth, and noise, but heaven often moves through depth, ripening, and quiet grace. So lift your head, dear woman. Carry your years like a crown. Let the oil remind you that you are not fading away. You are becoming. You are maturing into something rich and beautiful and steady, and that no passing trend can ever take from you.